Come forward!
Tell me when it's over. Look at that. Look at that. I want to go home.
I am Oz, the great and powerful. Who are you? Who are you?
If you please, I am Dorothy, the small and meek. We've come to ask you.
Silence!
Oh, Jiminy Cricket.
The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come. Step forward, Tin Man. You dare to come to me for a heart, do you? You clinking, clanking, clattering collection of colliginous junk?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. You see, a while back, we were walking down the yellow brick road, and...
Quiet! And you, Scarecrow, have the effrontery to ask for a brain. You billowing bale of bovine fodder!
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, Your Excellency. Your wizardry.
Enough! And you, lion! Well?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, frightening him like that when he came to you for help.
Silence, whippersnapper! The beneficent Oz has every intention of granting your requests.
What's that? So this is the last process, talking to the parts of self. And it's an entire process all by itself. I'm calling it the fourth process. The video is the fourth process, facing your four parts. Because that's really what it's about. You're facing yourself. Whoops. Now before we even get started on this too far, see this right here? This is a voice recorder. If you do this, talking to the parts of self, do not even try it without a voice recorder. This one cost me 60 bucks, bought it at Best Buy, and for about $100 you can get a really good one. So if you ever make videos, you can use that as your audio for your videos. And I'll tell you why. First, when you talk to the parts of yourself, you're going to go into a light trance and you're going to get involved. You're going to get involved. So it's like if you're interpreting a language, you can only listen to so many bits of information, and then you forget about it, and you load up with another few bits of information, and you forget about that. So the talking to the parts of self is very, 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 very important to you. So you record it, right? This first part that I'm going to show you today, the simple part, the introduction, you probably don't need to record that because it's pretty simple and you're getting yes or no answers and getting alignment. But later on, when you do it as a daily practice or as whenever you have an issue that you need to like talk to yourself about, or to get alignment on something, you're going to start a new project and you're going to get alignment on it, you want insight and advice, you're going to want to record it and listen to it. Because with this technique, with this process, you're increasing your ability to know things by 4. You're increasing your intuition by 4. You're increasing your self-love by 4. You're knowing by 4. So it's kind of important in that regard, because your whole life you've just been you, and you're wondering what somebody says, and you get the tarot cards and try to find out what they're saying, and you get the but with this process you're going to have 4 powerful allies, and you're going to be what's called congruent and in alignment. And very, very, very few times do people actually know that they're congruent and in alignment. Sometimes artists do it, and athletes do it. They get what's in the zone, where all parts of themselves are moving towards a goal. That's a pretty nice place to be. So I have some notes. Talking to the parts of self is about self-love, okay? And this, so it's like there's one way of loving yourself when you think of yourself as abstract. I love this, I love myself. It's kind of as an abstract. But when you can go into love your spirit, your heart, your will, and your body individually and collectively, you increase the amount of self-love. And that's like very, very, very powerful. So now you increased your self-love by four times as much. You have 4 times as many. It's like if you have 1 dog and you love that dog, right? But now you have 4 dogs, and that's, look how much more life and love you have. It's amazing, really. Okay, then the next one, I'm actually going to go over this today, is you can create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. And this, maybe you've never done this before in your life. Never in the history of a soul have you actually requested and get an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. It has always been the spirit, the mind saying, we're going to do this, and we're going to meditate, or we're going to do that, or we're going to whatever. This has been a dictatorship, yeah? Not a collective, not a congruent agreement. Yeah, and it's like a family. It's like when you see this as a family, okay, we want our family to be a loving, cooperative family. Yeah, and you make that happen. You resolve the conflicts and make that happen. Then, by talking to the parts of self, you're going to get information that you need to heal. Because of denial or ignorance or lack of focus or lack of importance or whatever the reason is, you may not go in and see what is going on in my heart, what is going on in my will, what's happening with my body. And they will give you information. They can give you very clear, powerful, amazing information that you can act on. So that's pretty cool. That has never happened to any human being, hardly ever. Even psychics, you go to psychic and you pay like $200 or $200, and they tell you, oh yeah, your inner conflict is causing your liver to go bad or whatever. Now you have a connection to these to get the information that you know. Okay, so all this adds up to having like this an increased ability to know yourself. Again, it's hard to love yourself in an abstract way, and people don't really love themselves. So, but when you have a concrete focus, a place to focus to, my will, my spirit, my heart, my body, then you can direct your love at that. So you have this increased ability to know yourself and to understand yourself and have this alignment that I'm talking about. And when you do all these things, guess what? You're going to have more spirit presence. All the New Age people love that. And you're going to have more heart presence because your consciousness is connected to your heart. So you have more heart presence and more will presence. She's the mother of everything, and if Mama's happy, everybody's happy. And that's why the empowerment goes, I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will, because she is the core of the power in your being. And if she's damaged, you're damaged. And if she's thriving and happy, you're thriving and happy. So all the efforts have been gone into healing the will polarity, spirit and will polarity. So, and more body presence. You know, a lot of people have body problems. That's because we're not connected to our body at all, most of the time. We're living in an automatic, you know, and these disasters, these automatic disasters happen to us, and we're disconnected. Like, why? Why am I getting sick now? Why do I always have the flu? Or why is my tummy hurt, you know? It's because we're not connected to the full presence of our body in a congruent way that makes, you know, it's like there's a two-way conversation going on here. And again, going back to finding deeper judgments and denials, things that you've never thought of, to put your feet in another person's shoes, right? Put your feet in another person's shoes and see what you look like from their point of view. That's very powerful. So finding deeper judgments and denials, yeah? Okay, now, if any of you who are students, I've told you, I warned you, it's like to go look at near-death experience and how powerfully that changes people's lives. And one of the things they do in the near-death experience is this. They go to a life review. And in the life review, you see all the people that you've hurt, all the people you've been nice to, all the people that you've had interactions with from your point of view. But you also flip the script and look at you from their point of view. What does it feel like, you know, when you said this to them, or when you were kind, or when you were mean, or when you ignored them, or when you denied them, or when you're praising them, you see? So you get this two-way street that's still you. You looking from their eyes and you looking from your eyes. And this is what talking to the parts of self can do. So you don't have to die to have that life review. You can go into your spirit, your heart, your will, or your body and talk to them, and they will talk to you, which is really you talking to you. Very powerful. And they're saying, what does it feel like? What is actually happening when you're living your life in the way that you've been living it? Either afraid all the time, or scared, or in grief, or in terror. What does that really feel like? What's that like? So, that's powerful. Okay, and then to the woo-woo, outer space, psychic stuff. When you align with your spirit, your heart, your will, and your body in this way, in this manner, they are also aligned. So your spirit is aligned with your higher spirit. Your heart is aligned with the higher heart. Your will is aligned with the mother of everything, with the earth, with the soul of the whole universe. And your body is aligned with form, everything that has form and matter. Okay? These are the four higher selves. So the four faces of God are reflected into your personal spirit, heart, will, and body. So when you get alignment, this is really amazing. When you get alignment with your spirit, with your heart, and when your will and with your body, you're going to automatically be aligned with the four parental parts. We call them parental parts. Yeah? So, and, you know, I've only really given this workshop to maybe a couple of hundred people. But from them, people have said, oh, this thing changed my life. Just this one technique changed. One lady said, this saved my life. It saved my life. I was thinking about killing myself, and I was alone and whatever. And then when she connected to her four parts, then she talks to them every day and gets counseling from them every day. Is never alone. That's pretty powerful. And out of those couple of hundred people, 4 or 5 of them had directly had the parental parts, either God the Father or heart, you know, like whoever your image of heart is, come into their room and talk to them face to face. You could call it channeling or something. This cuts out all the middlemen, cuts out all the, you know, masters or something. The masters, they're great. They talk to them too. This, because once you start connecting to the actual energy patterns that created you, these 4 into 1, the 4 colors of the rainbow make one rainbow. 4 centers of consciousness make one being. When you actually connect to those, you connect to everything. That's pretty pretty powerful. And then there's the relationship issue, okay? This all of Language Lessons of the Heart is really about relationship issues, right? So when you have your spirit and your will, that's the man, that's the woman. Doesn't matter what your body shape is, whether you're a woman or man. The spirit is always masculine and the will is always feminine. And all the relationship issues that you have, if the man is giving you a hard time, it's the relationship between man and woman. If the woman is giving you a hard time, it's the relationship between the spirit and will. All relationships, right? If your parents are getting in a divorce, that's spirit and will, and you're the heart. You're represented as a heart, as a child. So you can't come into your power because your parents are acting crazy. Spirit, heart, and will. See, every relationship that there is, relationship to nature, relationship to God, relationship to man and woman, relationship to man and child, every relationship is this relationship, spirit, heart, will, and body. Yeah? All relationships will be understood that once you make these connections, because the pattern is held the same. So, and all the stuff I've just mentioned makes you become more of a multidimensional, polyphrenic human being. Those are just some of the benefits, some of the attributes of it. But to go, one thing that people have been asking me, because my memory, right? My memory, because of who I am and all this incredible stuff that I did that you probably would never think of doing, I got my memory back. And it was because doing a Language Lessons of the Heart, I did the whole thing, right? That's how I teach it, is because I did it. It's in my bodies. And I got my memory back. And the reason how I got my memory back is because the patterns of all life is in the same pattern of the spirit, heart, will, and body. If it's heartless, you see this heartlessness in the world? It's because of the pattern of the spirit overriding will, government overriding the will of the people, and the government being heartless to the people. Heartless. The war is heartlessness. You see, every pattern that has ever happened is in your being now. Every pattern. All the stuff that you don't like to see and all the stuff that you love. The connecting to nature, the connecting to beauty, connecting to love, connecting to music. That's also in the pattern of this inner relationship. Yeah? So that's how you get your memory back. Because when you do the emotional release on this one specific pattern, it connects to all the patterns of the whole universe. Yeah? Yeah. So if your relationship with your father, say this is your father, this is your mother. If your relationship with your father is not good, maybe he abandoned you or maybe he judged you, then that is also your relationship with God, the Creator. And an exact echo of your father's relationship to you is the same echo as your soul's interpretation of God the Father. Same thing with God the Mother. So all patterns of consciousness are bound up into your relationship between your spirit, heart, will, and body. And this is why I say record it. Because there's a lot going on. Even though it's childish in a way. What is it? Christ said one time, to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must make it to yourself as a child. Right? Because this stuff is super simple. Language Lessons of the Heart is the simplest thing. A judgment release is simple. Emotional release is simple. Babies are born doing emotional release. You're born crying. Yeah? Simple. But the implications of it are vast, because we're connected to everything all the time. We are polyphrenic, multidimensional beings that are unstuck in time, and we have this whole infinite nature to us. Infinite connections, and connected to the infinite pattern of knowing. Another thing that I didn't talk about when I was doing my research back in the day is there's this thing called the Akashic Records. We think, oh, we're going to go to the Akashic Records, yeah? And I'm going to get this information. This information came from the Akashic Records. But we are the Akashic records. Yeah. So you have an Akashic record for your spirit. There's an Akashic record in your heart. There's an Akashic record in your will. An Akashic record in your body. So now you've got 4 Akashic records, and you can now going to learn how to talk to them eventually. And once you get advanced, once you do your healing work, yeah. Because you're not going to be able to do this if you have denial, if you have judgments, you have bad self-image, and you have a bunch of pain loaded up on you. Then you're like you're the Wizard of Oz. You're the mean wizard, or you're the wicked witch who's setting the monkeys on poor Dorothy. Yeah. The monkeys for judgments and denial. Wicked witch. How are you going to be connected? How are you going to take Dorothy home? And all that mess. So you do your healing work. Do your work. Yeah. Clean out your emotional body till it's clean. So then you can have something to talk about. If you try to do it like this is my this video here. I have 20 before it, 20 at least, maybe more. And if you're going to start here and go backwards, well, yeah, good luck with that. It can be done. You can start here and go backwards, but you need to do it all. If you don't do the amount of empowerment, then just like in the Wizard of Oz, they're going to be looking at like you. What kind of a wizard are you? What's the matter with you? You're this identity of the Wizard of Oz, and really you're just this shriveled up guy or woman who's pretending all the time. And your spirit, heart, will, and body are going to be looking at you like you're trying to step to us as a fake person. No, so you don't want to be in that relationship. You don't want to be the fake person when you start talking to your parts of self. So do your emotional release. Find as many judgments and denials as you can. At least have enough and do a profound amount of empowerments. I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. I want to live. I want to be fulfilled, because that is the intent that you want to go in and talk to your parts of self. So in some ways it's like a holy thing, you know. It's like a baby, right? When you talk to a baby, you want to be clear, you want to be loving, right? Even though you're talking baby talk, you don't want to be, you know, a judgmental asshole or fake person. We want genuine love. That's what it's about.
So fast! I'll have to give the matter a little thought. Go away and come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, but I want to go home now.
You've had plenty of time already.
Yeah. Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz. I said come back tomorrow.
If you were really great and powerful, you'd keep your promises.
Do you presume to criticize the great Oz? You ungrateful creatures think yourselves lucky that I'm giving you audience tomorrow instead of 20 years from now.
Oh.
The great Oz has spoken.
Oh.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great Oz has spoken.
Who are you?
Oh, I am the great and powerful
Wizard of Oz.
You are? I don't believe you.
No, I'm afraid it's true. There's no other wizard except me.
You humbug!
Yes, it's exactly so. I'm a humbug.
Oh, you're a very bad man.
Oh, no, my dear. I'm a very good man. I'm just a very bad wizard.
So, in this clip, this is where, you know, Dorothy and the 4 parts, spirit, heart, will, and body, Tin Man, Straw Man, Lion Man. This is where they meet him, the Wizard of Oz. And in this movie, I'm Toto. I'm the guy. I'm the little dog that's pulling back the curtain and saying, "Look, this is what's really going on. It's not your identity. Is not this great wizard. It's just a manufactured thing from who you are. And you're actually a good person. You want things to be, you know, right. But you're a bad wizard. That's the part. You're a good person and a bad wizard. And now you're going to stop being a wizard and you're going to be a good person. Okay. This first part is just going to say hello and you know, try to be in your heart as best you can. And this is what I call the setups. You don't really have to record. You don't have to record this because you can just replay the tape and if you don't get the words right. So the first thing you ought to do is make sure before you actually sit down and do a formal introduction and do your setups, you know, do 10 or 15, 20 minutes of empowerment. So I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will until you really feel it. When you feel that there is that intent and you really feel that this is what you're doing, this is what you're committed to, okay, then you're ready. You know, I want to be fulfilled. I want to live. When that urgency is felt, when that compassion is felt, that's the time to do it, when you're in that space. So the first thing you do is, let me do this first. Just in case you didn't know, whenever you were a kid, you used to do this thing called casting your voice. When you would play with little characters or play with your dolls, you could cast your voice, and you'd do that by sometimes with sock puppets. And you say, "How are you, sock puppet?" "I'm fine, how are you?" Yeah, that's as easy as it is. "This sock is too tight. I think I need a bigger sock." See? And you talk. You talk back and forth. It's called casting your voice. So I'm giving my voice to the sock. I'm not really giving the voice. This is my voice too. See? The sock can talk back. "Hey, how are you? Hello, everybody." See? Kids do this. You do it with little dolls, you know? You do it with this telephone. Telephone, ring, ring, ring. "Hello, who's calling?" Ring. So you talk. You cast your voice. That's as simple as it is. Every kid does this at some point with their trucks and their cars or their Barbie dolls or whatever it is you got. And that's how it works. Well, this time you cast your voice into your hands like that, and without any sock. So the first thing is just straight up say hello, and again with as much feeling and as much presence and intent as you've been able to put together. And you pull your spirit out like this. Just imagine gathering it up, putting it into your hands, and you say, "Hello, my beautiful spirit. I'm empowering myself with strong and loving intent to heal my will. Will you help me?" Yes. So that yes was coming from your spirit, from my spirit in this situation. So the first thing you do is ask, as you say, "I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will." And then you say, "Will you help me?" This is a yes or no question. Okay, you don't want to get in there, you don't have to just yes or no. It's just, you know, acknowledge that they're there. Will you help me? Same thing with the heart. Pull your energy of your heart together and say, "Hello, my beautiful heart. I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. Will you help me?" Yes, of course I will. That's it. Spirit and heart. And you gather up your emotional body, your will, and say, "I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. Will you help me?" Yes, yes, yes. Huh? That's easy. And then your body, just imagine pulling all the energy of your body together and Hold it in your hands and say, I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. Will you help me? Yes, of course. See? That's a simple, the first setup. Remember, you spent hundreds of hours, I hope, days doing this empowerment. Just so, now it means something. Now it means something because you've been doing a lot of stuff before, emotion release, judgment release, talking to the parts of self now. It's just for now, right? So that you're authentic. You say, so there's a history of you've done stuff. And you ask for yes or no questions because right now this is what's called a setup. You want to set things up. Now, if you have issues with any part of yourself like that, you can also go, I'm empowering myself with a strong intent to heal my will and spirit. See? Or you can say, strong intent to heal my will and heart. You can say that too, if that's comfortable to you, because you're not leaving them out. Okay, so that's the first setup. You've got an agreement now. There's an agreement, and this is an agreement that you have to live up to, and they will live up to it. And that is to do this work, to empower yourself, to actually heal your will. That's an agreement, that's an alignment. Okay? The second one is this. I'd like to create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Will you help me? Hello, Spirit. I'd like to create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Will you help me? Yes. Yes, I will. Right? And pull out your heart energy. Hello, heart. I'd like to create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Will you help me? Yes, yes, yes. Put that back. Gather up your beautiful will energy, your chi, your belly energy, your emotional energy. Pull it in your hands and say, hello, my beautiful will. I'd like to create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Will you help me? Yes, 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 yes. 1,000 times yes. Yeah, that's the way it works. So now I'm going to pull up the energy of my body. Pull all that energy up. Hello, body. I'd like to create an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Will you help me? Yes, yes, I'm all in. We've been doing this for years. All right. Okay, so that's the second setup. You have an agreement now for an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. They're going to cooperate with each other, and it's going to be done in love, okay? And that's what your commitment is too. Make sure that you follow up on that commitment to make it right inside you. Okay, the third one is really important. Because it's a declaration of acceptance, okay? This is your declaration of acceptance, and it goes like this. You pull out one of your parts, you pull out each of your parts, and you say this. I offer you loving acceptance just the way you are. I intend to heal you and all my parts. And I give you full permission to say and feel whatever you want without me ever judging you. Yeah? As simple as that. Do it for each one. Heart, I offer you loving acceptance just the way you are. I intend to heal you and all my parts. I give you full permission to say and feel whatever you want without me ever judging you. Yeah. They don't have to reply. This is your declaration to them. And to your will, you pull up your will energy. Hello, my beautiful will. As you know, she's laughing. I offer you loving acceptance just the way you are. I intend to heal you and all my parts. I give you full permission to say and feel whatever you want without me judging you. And you do the same thing for body. Now that's like a pretty powerful, I'm still feeling that. You know, I've done this for years. I'm still feeling that because that's the whole thing. You have to be able to allow them to say whatever. If it hurts your feelings, it embarrasses you, whatever, shames you, let them say what they have to say. It's about emotional freedom and purging and whatever it is, a complete, total acceptance on your part. Whatever they say to you, if they're angry or they're not angry or whatever they are, you give them unconditional acceptance. That's the name of the game. That's a setup. That's your setup. That's your commitment. Yeah? Whatever comes, you know, whether you like it or not, record it and listen to it, because some of it you like, or some of it you really, really like, and some of it you may not like, because you know, this is you seeing you. This is you looking in the cosmic mirror, in the soul mirror. That takes even more courage than looking in a regular mirror. Then there's some other exercises, okay, later, after this is done, and when you get a recorder, so that you can record what information is being given to you, because you're going to maybe make actions or make changes or find judgments. And if it goes on for a while, you'll forget what the judgment is. So you record it so that you can find the judgment, or find what needs to be released, or find what needs to be expressed, and go into that, right? So this is very precise, very accurate, very, you see? No, don't just trust your memory. So let's say you did this and you got your alignments, you got your setup, you got your alignments, you got your commitment, right? Inside, it's all working. That's good. So one of the exercises you can do is you can ask each one, spirit, heart, will, and body, how has it been to be my spirit? How has it been to be my heart? How has it been to be my will? How has it been to be my body? Right? And you listen, and then here's the chance for them to talk, and they might just say fine, right? It's okay, or whatever. If they give you that teenager attitude, you know something's up. 2-word answers, you know. So if it's just like somebody, it's like in the Wizard of Oz when they're mad at the wizard because he was like playing with them. So you ask deeper questions. How's it been to be my spirit? How's it been to be my heart? How's it been to be my body? And like I said before, like I was trying to say, is if you look at the video on the empowerments, and I have a list of characters, right? Like one of the characters is to be a detective, you know, a super sleuth. So when you hear just one word, I'm fine, or everything's okay, you know there's more going on than that. So you have to be the detective and find out what's going on. Or you have to be the ideal parent, because if you get into the inner child relationship, then you're going to be talking to your inner child, so that you have to be the ideal parent. This is really good exercise. That's why I gave it to you in the beginning, so you could practice doing your empowerments as these different personalities. Or you know, the best friend. You know, you can talk to me because I'm your best friend, and until you can build up a trust and a conversation and a relationship with your parts. So it's like, may not talk to you straight up, like just like teenagers, you know, you say, how was your day? Fine, you know, then just that's all you're gonna get out of them. But at some point, you have to keep working at it. You have to be the one who initiates the conversation. You know, what's really going on? How really was the day? You know, and you can take it to a deeper level. Where are you hurt? What hurt you the most? How long have you carried that wound? What do you feel you're being judged by? You know, what was the judgment that hurt you? And really investigate, you know, and find out. Try to get to a deeper level of authenticity so you actually do have a conversation. So you actually are a family. You actually are a team. Yeah, it's not just you, the dictator, not just you, the Wizard of Oz, saying, you know, you got to talk to me or else. No, it's a two-way street, and it's worth taking the time, recording it, so you can hear what's going on. Be the detective, be the ideal parent, be the healer, be the psychologist, be the therapist to yourself, to that part. You know, your heart blown out from so many bad relationships and falling in love and getting crushed and, oh, I'm all right. No, well, what about this? And what about that? And what happened there? And, you know, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? You get that relationship thing going. And then you're going to find, when you review the tapes, and you're going to find stuff that you need to do emotional release on, powerful things you need to do emotional release on that are very accurate. And you're going to find the judgments that are surrounding that, that's holding that in place, you know, so that you don't have the, you know, the box of stain on your soul anymore. So that's this makes healing hugely accurate. It's thorough, eloquent, and precise. There's very few other healing modalities that can make your healing thorough, eloquent, and precise on this level. I just haven't heard of any that, especially when you have it all set up like the way you just set it up. Then you can go into conflict resolutions. You know, there's conflict between your head and your spirit and your will, conflict between your will and your heart, or conflict between your heart and your head, conflict between your body. There's those conflict resolutions. You have to go to work and your body wants to stay home and rest. Okay, that's a conflict that you have to resolve. Or you haven't had fun in a really, really, really long time, and your emotional body and your physical body say, we just want to have fun. I mean, you've just been nose to the grindstone. What is that all about? So you have to resolve that conflict. Okay, I have to work now, but this weekend we're just definitely going to have fun, and it has to be fun, right? So that's like an example of a conflict resolution. Or say you're going to get into you are physically going to get into a relationship with a woman or a man, and so your heart's going, well, this doesn't feel right. I mean, you've done this a whole bunch of times. I don't know if I want to go through that again. And your emotional body saying, you know, I've been hurt. Every time you got into a relationship with somebody like that, I get hurt. And your physical body going, go for it, you know? So there's conflict. So, you know, your body's saying, it's okay with me, I don't care. And your emotional body's saying, she's gun shy, and your heart's angry. So these things aren't lined up, and you're going like, well, so then but if you just charged out and, you know, bumped into another person, you know, with all this inner conflict, you know, you can just see that the writing's on the wall already. So you have the inner conflict first, make agreements first, so resolve those conflicts before you do something major. So conflict resolution is a big part of it. That's definitely part of the things to tick off. And then there's trust building. Do not assume that your parts are going to trust you, right? If you've only been doing this for a few weeks, there is no way in hell. And you've been carrying around judgments or pain or trauma since you were a kid, and now you got 2 weeks into this, and you're going, I want you to, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They may not trust you. So trust building, right? If your will wants to eat ice, if you're a vegetarian and you know you're straight this and that, and your will says, I want to eat ice cream, and no, it's got to be raw fruit, raw this or raw what. Eat the damn ice cream if that's what she wants. It's a trust building. It's a treat for her. Whatever, you know what I mean. Forget your great food thing for an hour, and eat some damn ice cream. You say build trust. The trust that you build with your will is far more important. Way, 10,000 times more important than whether you keep your vegan diet or your lacto-ovo, you know, whatever, or anything else for that matter. when something comes up, that there's an opportunity for trust building. Like the example of, well, I have to go to work now, but on the weekend, yeah, and we're going to have fun. That is trust building. And you need to be able to say, and you need to be able to fulfill what you said you're going to do. So you're going to go to the beach, you go to the park, you're going to do something fun. Yeah, some treat. Maybe go out and treat yourself to a dinner. A romantic dinner with all your parts. That's amazing. That's trust building. But make sure you make it happen. Don't say something, and if you can, and if it looks like, you know, a Friday night your boss calls you and says you got to work on the weekend, then you got some apologizing to do in advance. Do not let it just like, oh, I'm sorry, this is what's happening, but Monday, you know what? You make it right. Trust building. Very important. Because the fate of your future life is in their hands too. It's a team. Now you're a team. You're an inner family. Yeah, father, mother, child. The form. You know, the father's house is your body. Mother's house is your body. So trust building is pretty much a big deal. And that's it. You should be able to, with these kind of little starter, you know. And listen, you might have. I'm kind of giving you these different scenarios, but you might have a really chatty heart or a really chatty spirit, a really chatty will. Just wants to talk and talk and talk, and you just relate back and forth, and it's like sisters or brothers or whatever it is. It's just amazing. That also is good. But keep in mind that you got set up. I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. And I'm creating an internal atmosphere of love and cooperation. Yeah? That's where you're going. Keep that in mind all the time, because until your whole emotional body is clear and you can heal your body and heal your heart and get all that stuff working right again, it's not playtime. It's not chit chat all the time. You chit chat and make conversation for you know, trust building and for relationship building with yourself. But you're here to heal. And to go along with that, I'll have to say that language lessons of the heart is not a spiritual path. It is a healing path. You're going to come to a point in your healing where that's it. You know, where your conflicts are resolved, you know, and then you can function. Then you can stop doing language lessons of the heart and go out living your life pretty much integrated. Yeah? So this is not a spiritual path. It's not something you're going to have to do forever, right? So make use of the time, right? If you do this for 6 months or a year and a half, make use of that time, because it's not a spiritual path. It's not a lifestyle. This is a healing modality to get you in shape. And then you came to this planet for like plenty good reasons, right? You're going to heal, you know, save the whales and teach the children and be a relationship counselor or whatever it is, you know, or raise the kids, whatever it is that you do. You're going to be congruent. You're going to be in an alignment. Yeah? You're going to have power, 4 times the power than you've ever had before. Yeah? Authentic. No BS. Nothing's going to get past you. There's no judgment, no denial, no shame, no blame. No BS is happening to you. Yeah? You're going to be a force to be reckoned with, living your life. So, for the time that it takes to heal all your stuff, you live and breathe language lessons of the heart. That's the way to do it. Do it deep, you know. And then for those of you who really are going to go on to teach, you're going to have a rich life to teach this, because you're going to get a lot of benefits, spiritual benefits, to teach this. Because you know, first there's the gratitude of people who are being helped. I get it every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah? But then there's this spiritual thing. You would not believe, this morning, had all this entire universe kind of pushing on me to get this message out, and think about this and remember that, and there's a hole, the hole, and it's just like there's a lot of energy from the angelic realm, from the celestial realm, from the cosmic realm, from the earth elements, the earth energies, the four-legged creatures, two-legged creatures, the whales, the dolphins, spiritual masters, the gurus, the sage, the saints, the shamans. Shamans are really interested in this because this is straight up shamanism, really. And on one level, you could look at it as shaman school because it's the same. We're covering the same ground as shamans do. The whole of language lessons of the heart is imaginary. You have to use your imagination, and it's training from polarity flip-flops to this. It's all imagination training, and imagination is way more wonderful and life-changing than you can imagine. All right, that's enough for this one. I could make 20 easy, 20 more just on talking to the parts of self.